Welcome to Same Cast Different Day podcast. I'm Martell,
And I'm Tina.
and we are back live finally after 4 weeks, about a month. It was my bad, y'all. It was my bad. Like I said on the pre-tape version that came out, I was sick. Actually, it was exhaustion at first, and then I was sick after that, and then yeah. But we're back. Yay! So it's been some shenanigans going on since we've been gone. There's been a lot of deaths going on within the celebrity communities. Been some scandals going on. Uh, but first thing I need to do, I need to address somebody real fast. Cavalier Johnson, you did it again. You don't turn Highland Avenue into one lane. I'm tired of you turning all the roads into one lane. And then I keep getting behind people that's want to wait until 2 o'clock in the afternoon to go to doctor's appointments that should have went at 9 o'clock in the morning while everybody was at work. And then they driving 14 miles an hour down the street. Then I'm gonna be getting behind to get road rage. You all say y'all did all this to cut down on reckless driving and all these deaths that was happening from people getting hit by cars. By the way, deaths say when people get hit by cars. By the way, since y'all did all this stuff, and then on top of that, all it's doing is causing road rage because we just had an incident with a road rage incident where somebody got killed over road rage because they was having a bad day. So stuff that you fix it. It ain't working and I don't like it. Fix it. Anywho, so do you want to tell them about the Chris Brown show in Usher? Did you enjoy the show? Was it amazing? Went to go see them?
So I went to go to the R&B tour on this past Friday in Chicago. Um, I had a great experience. I had floor seats. Um, it was a lot of pyrotechnics. You would have loved that. Ooh, and the heat coming off, it was like real fire. Like the heat coming off of
Ooh.
there was a little crazy. It was they did great. I feel like they did great. It was supposed to start at 7. I feel like it started closer to like 9. So we had been there. I got there pretty much on time. Parking for us, we parked right in the parking lot that was attached to the stadium, Soldier Field. Parking was $57 and
God
worth
damn.
every penny because we were right there at the door. When we went on the inside, they had a lot of different food selections. I had some brisket nachos. They were very good, but they were like $20.
Mm.
But the portion, like the container they put it in, was like this big though. So I feel like if I would have
Okay.
went to like a sit down restaurant, I probably would have paid about that much. I wish they did have different sizes, like the bigger one and a smaller one, perhaps, for somebody that didn't want that much food. Um, Drinks were outrageously priced. There were a lot of bars
He is.
everywhere. There are bars on each floor, each side. When I went down to the floor by the seats, they had bars down there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice. They also had the mezzanine, also had like a convenience store in there, which was cool. And another bar there with some more food. I saw, like hot dogs, burgers. Didn't I was actually looking for some fries. That's what I really wanted, but they didn't have any. Um, then they also had like these slushy cutwater drinks that people were walking around in, kind of like with the cup we had got from Fat Tuesday, but a smaller version
Oh
of
yeah, I
it.
had one. Those was like 20 some dollars for those cups. That's a,
Yeah. And then the only complaint I have is the seats. So on the floor they had the fold out chairs or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Um and they had them zip tied together.
Oh.
And
I was complaining about that too. Like, why was it tying chairs here?
So there was like no space. There's almost like somebody in there, so, so I really didn't bother with doing a lot of sitting because it was like too close. I did manage to leave my seat in kind of closer seat, so those was like right there. Try to stay. Uh, Started to rain. I did leave momentarily so I could get a chance to change on stage. So I didn't get a chance to see um, but it only rained for like 10 minutes. But they kept the concert going. Um,
Mhm. Your audio just cut out. Me too. What was the last word?
I said
Oh,
when I was talking about Tank,
yeah.
I said they kept the concert going even though it rained for about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, but it was good. Overall, I feel like it was a great experience. Um, they did great. Getting out like after leaving the parking, it was a breeze. It was good. I loved it. I know a lot of people have complained about going to Soldier Field for things like that. I didn't have a problem. Only thing afterwards, so we were trying to find somewhere to go afterwards. Um First of all, I'm not paying $50 to get into nobody's club. Number one. Um in the Midwest, okay? Not gonna happen.
They feel like they
Um
Chicago, so they can do that.
and then something else that was kind of perplexing to me. On top of so we were going to pay it, but then they didn't offer hookah. So come to find out, bars in Chicago, you cannot have liquor and hookah in the same place. You either have to go to a bar that serves liquor or a hookah lounge that has hookah. Okay. Really strange, right? So I was like, oh, this is different. And I'm like, out of all the things that Chicago does, like, this is where you draw the line.
Right. That's weird. I
And
mean, but
so, we tried to kind of ask and try to, people weren't really helpful. They were kind of rude when we were asking, like, why is that or where else can we go? Mind you, we were downtown, so it was a lot of stuff that kind of closed. We did end up finding a hookah lounge where you could bring your own bottle. So that's where we ended up going. Didn't have to pay a crazy cover charge. I think it was like $20 or something like that. The hookahs were um conveniently priced. I think it was like $30. So that was like normal pricing to up here in Milwaukee, you know. When people were like, well, where y'all from? I'm like, Milwaukee. Well, that's Milwaukee. I said, you act like that's far from here. Like,
it's literally an hour drive from here.
and I done went to so many different places. Houston, they had the liquor and the hookah together. Vegas had the hookah and the liquor together. Like, Chicago, what you doing?
Right.
But overall, as far as the concert, getting there, the traffic wasn't bad. No, nothing. Like, I had a good time with all of that. And $57 to me versus walking 8 blocks in hills in a sea of people. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the videos online. I didn't have to deal with any of that because I came straight out from my seat and went straight to the door, and the car was like literally right there. And we was out of the parking garage in like 60 seconds flat. So it was
The
good.
only thing I got to ask you, because there's been a thing all over the internet. Did Usher use a stunt double?
Well, what stunt? What stunts was he doing that he needed a double?
So there's a thing on the internet where there's a portion of the show where I think during the song, yeah, there's like the beginning of the song they say he used a stunt double for the performance. So there's a video of like it's the guy on stage performing, yeah, but they said it don't look like Usher. It had no resemblance to Usher.
I had no reason to believe anybody. Chris Brown and Usher were not who they said they were. I I am more of a Usher fan than a Chris Brown fan. I mean, I like him, but I love me some Usher, right? So I have plenty of very up close videos that I took of all of his songs, and looks like Usher to me. Sounds like Usher to me. All of that. They both did kind of like a pay homage to like Michael Jackson. Both of them did had on like clothing. They did do a song like a Prince song, so I thought that was pretty cool too.
Oh.
But no, I don't. Stunt double for what though? And then
I,
why for that song? If
I don't know, because it was
if I would have thought about a stunt double, would be Chris Brown from all that flying around the stadium he be doing.
because it was,
That
I
was him
guess,
too.
it was a portion of the show where it's like you see Usher going back main stage, but then he reappears coming up like out on the further stage, and then that Usher makes his way to the main stage, and then as they say, he switched, and the real Usher come back out, finish out the rest of the performance. That's where people were saying that in earlier shows, and then they were showing, they was like zooming in and said like, this ain't Usher, this look nothing like Usher, and so yeah, that's why I had to ask.
No, I never felt that way. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I just had to ask. So let's get into some celebrity news that's been going on. So Perez Hilton allegedly was live on TikTok, and while he was standing in front of a camera holding a large knife, he held it against his body, making several cuts along his stomach, chest, face, thighs. He smiled and moaned and grunted in pain at one point and said, "I'm surprised TikTok let this stay up. We'll let this stay. Fuck you, TikTok," is what he said. Um, we still don't know what was going through his mind, what was going on. I believe at one point when he was in the hospital, he said that he met God or something like that.
Yeah, that was before when he was hospitalized.
Oh,
Before this incident, yeah, said
oh,
that.
okay. So I hope he get the proper treatment that he needs. I don't know what's going on in his personal life. I know I forgot all about Perez Hilton. I mean, he back when he was just like big celebrity influencer type person, and over the years he just kind of like faded. I didn't know he ain't had kids. They said he got kids. I didn't know this man had kids. I thought he was. We're not gonna go there. This ain't about that. But
Wasn't expected for him to have children, I
yeah,
understand.
I wasn't expecting for him to have children, so I was just so surprised by that. But I am sending all the healing powers and wishes to Perez Hilton and hope that he gets better. Ooh. So, Brandon Clark reportedly died from effects of heroin and cocaine. He was 29 years old. Brandon Clark played for the Memphis Grizzlies.
So I think it was the off season though, because he died
Yeah,
like
it-
May or something like that.
was it May?
I thought it was like May or June, something like that. It was their off season. Like they weren't in the finals or nothing.
So yeah, he died May 11th. So yeah,
Mhm.
it was during the off season because I think the official season ended in April. So yeah, it was
Mhm.
during the off season. Um, because the next girl too, they were suspecting that she died from drugs also, and it's just been crazy because you hear lately within the last couple of years, you hear about a lot of these celebrities passing away, and it's all related to drugs. And it's almost like, first of all, well, most of them, some of them are prescription drugs, but I'll be wondering like what make them turn to doing such hard drugs like heroin and coke and all these other kind of things. Well, I know coke was a big thing back in the day, especially the booger sugar. At one point, no matter what industry you was in, that was a big thing. But now they're doing heroin and stuff like that. And it's just like, wow, why?
Well, you don't go straight to heroin. You
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 know,
start
they
off
find something to get
with
them higher.
so usually celebrities or like athletes like that, an athlete that's like currently playing isn't going to just do heroin. I can see
Right.
cocaine on the off season, like I said. Especially if you partying, if you pulling all nighters and stuff like that, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they do partake in stuff like that. But um, he probably didn't know it was laced.
You're right.
That's
So
probably what it
people
was.
do.
I'm
They get these
assuming and I'm
drugs and they lay.
hoping, yeah, because he an
Because
athlete. Like that heroin. Mm-mm,
because
mm-mm.
there's been people they be like, how do you overdose on weed? Like, well, people was putting fentanyl in on their weed and somehow to get people higher and make them come back for more. Next thing you know, that person is overdosed and dead. Because I don't know how you Hayden Pantieri or is it Pantier? I'm not sure how you pronounce her name, but she recently died, I believe last week, and they were saying that Narcan was used at the when they was when paramedics arrived on the scene. She has had a history of dealing with, I believe it was drug abuse and all these other kind of things. She was known for the TV show Hero, and she played in a movie Bring It On. But and she also has a daughter too, which I didn't know she didn't have custody of her daughter. I think her mom had custody of her daughter because of all the things she had going on. But it's just like I said, just these celebrities' deaths, and it's just been related to drugs lately the last couple of years, and it's just been sad just watching so many young celebrities pass away from drugs. And then on top of that, it's been a lot of TikTok. I'll be like scrolling online and like TikTok influencer such and such has died, and it's like what is going on out there? What is
Something
y'all
else I
doing?
want to reiterate, because Narcan is really easy for people to get their hands on, which is a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Narcan is only for opiate derived drugs, right? So like your hydrocodones, your oxycodones, your heroin, like things like that. It don't work if you OD on cocaine. That is a totally different metabolite. And there's other anecdotal treatments that go for stuff like that can reverse the effects of like the cocaine. So people need to keep that in mind too. Like if the Narcan don't work, they probably had taken something else. That's not an opiate.
Keep that in mind, people, or just stay away from drugs. To be honest with you, just stay away from them. Ariana Grande, we haven't talked about her in a long time on this show since there were some photos of her looking very unhealthy. But she plans to step back from public appearance. So sorry. She plans to step back from public appearances after talks of her on the internet of her appearance on the internet and her health. And when I saw her, what was it? Did the MTV Awards happen this year? I think the
Wasn't she
MTV
doing a
Awards.
tour and she said she made that statement after she got done with a tour
Yeah,
or something?
yeah. She's after she's done touring, she's gonna take some step time back out the public light, I guess, and work on herself. Because when she presented, I don't know if this was this year or last year, when she presented Mariah Carey at the MTV Awards, and she looked thin, like you could see the makeup of her skeletal system thin. I mean, it looked that she looked dangerously um, skinny, and I really get her the help that she needs. Because like I said, when she played in the first Wicked movie, she looked fine. And I don't know if some casting director or somebody within that production team was like, "Hey, you need to lose a little bit more weight for the next movie." Because by the time then when she was promoting this next movie and the next movie came out, she was just like this super thin, unhealthy girl. Like you can see like the collarbones and everything was popping out. So
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
see her
know who.
veins and stuff.
Yeah, so it was like I don't know who on her team or who at the studio told her like, yeah, you need to lose some weight. That was the worst decision y'all can ever done to a young lady, and I hope she can get better.
Well, I don't think somebody told her that. I just think she might suffer like somebody dysmorphia probably going on. She's always been thin. Um and it could either be like a psychological something such a psychological going on or physiological, right? So I
Could be.
maybe she can't eat. So I don't know if she got allergies. I don't know how she feels when she eats. It's hard, if she have like Crohn's or it could be any number of things that can inhibit a person to actually gain weight. Um,
It is true.
so I just think that it didn't the stress of being in the
The
limelight,
spotlight.
hmm But she's always been thin. She's
Yeah,
been heavier than the pictures that
that
I saw of her. But I
that's
feel
how
like
I'm.
I've seen her that thin too before, and she
I
stepped
haven't.
back for a while, and she came back looking healthier.
Yeah, I haven't. I've never seen her this thin. I'm used to the Ariana where, the Ariana with the long ponytails and the thick thigh. Like she was skinny, but she still had like nice thick thighs. Like she was like during the Thank You Next era. Like that Ariana Grande was thick, and then
She was
now
not thick.
she was thick. She was thick to
No,
be a
she
little
wasn't.
person. She had nice thighs with the thigh high boots
So
and
she
stuff.
had a
She looked
shape, but
nice.
she wasn't thick.
Yeah,
She has a shape. She has a shape,
yeah,
but
yeah.
she
She has a
wasn't
shape.
thick. She
Yeah.
like a slim, she was slim. She's always
I'm
been
not
slim.
that girl thick. I mean, for like a white woman, she was thick. For a white woman,
Yeah,
a skinny white woman
she
at that.
her body composition is curvy.
Yeah,
When
and
she
then
got weight on her, I got you.
yeah, and then to see how she is now, I was like, oh my goodness. But Ariana, we hope you get better, and please come out with a album and teach these girls
No, she
to sing
ain't
again
got
because
to
these
come out
girls
with
don't be
no
singing.
album. No, she don't. No, she don't. She just need to rest, relax, and do
No,
what
I ain't
makes her
talking about. I'm
happy.
talking about once she's better.
No, we're not gonna put any type of expectations on her. We're just
We can't
gonna
just have her stop music
hope
forever.
she can if she want to. She can
We don't
act.
want her.
It
We
doesn't
need her to
matter.
keep doing
Rihanna said
music.
she didn't care what y'all thought either.
I mean, I'm not a Rihanna fan like that
Don't
either.
matter.
So,
Y'all
but
y'all can't bully these people into giving you music, and then when it be ass, y'all be mad.
I like her music. The only thing is, she needs to teach these girls how to sing. She the last singer that can sing. She needs to teach some of these girls how to sing. So these new girls
That
that's coming out
is
with this,
God given talent. You cannot
I
teach
know,
somebody how to sing like
I
that.
know,
You
but
gotta be
Jesus,
born with
I
that.
know you got to be born with it. But good God, she can teach them some techniques or something because these girls ain't got no techniques. Like Ariana is one of those girls. If she show up on a radio show or interview and they ask her to sing something, she can sing. She can belt something right there on the spot. These new girls can't do that. Like, oh, I can't really sing today. It's like they got an excuse to why they can't because they sound horrible and they know they sound horrible. I'm just saying. She's the last of a goddess voice. Let's
Let
keep.
her rest.
Oh yeah, she gonna rest. You take about 4 years off while you at it. I'm just to let her rest and come back thick like she was. Oof. Um, Luigi Mangione, who boy, we was all rooting for you. We was all rooting for you. We was standing behind you. We all gave you alibis, and you snitched on yourself.
Yeah, well they can't charge him for it now. They have to charge him with a lesser crime.
Yeah, because well, according to Luigi Mangione, pled guilty to federal charges and assassination of the United Healthcare CEO. Luigi said in a statement, after years of enduring pain from a broken back, I shot Mr. Thompson and he died. I knew what I was doing was illegal. Is what he said. We were rooting for you.
Um,
We were all rooting for you.
plead guilty to. Let's see.
We all gave you an
Um,
alibi. You all you have to do is just say you was with us.
so he pled guilty to interstate stalking resulting in death and cyber stalking resulting in death. That's what he pled guilty to.
He wasn't supposed to play and get to. He's just supposed to get off. He was just supposed to get
So
off.
it says, following the federal guilty plea, his defense attorneys filed a motion to dismiss the state indictment on double jeopardy grounds. They knew what they was doing, arguing against
Okay.
being punished twice for the same acts. the state trial has been adjourned. This court considers this motion. So that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why he took, because they can't charge him. It's double jeopardy. You can't charge them for the murder of that person.
Because it's almost like police officers get off on so many murders and they innocent murders. I'm like, can us the poor people just get one win so they can know what it feels like? Just one. But at the same time, though, the rich people, their wives and sons be, doing stuff to them and get collecting that life insurance money. So I guess they got to worry about that instead.
I mean,
why did I?
That man is fine, but he nuts.
Yeah, he still can get it. Sean Grayson. So Sean Grayson, the officer who fatally shot Sonia Mack outside of her home in 2024, has died. He was 6 months into his 20-year sentence. In 2023, he was diagnosed with a stage 3 colon cancer. There has been no word on his official cause of death. So just y'all say like they said, like no, there's been no word on his official cause of death. So y'all can't try to sue us and say they will. Yeah, he said no. So, people. So, since last year, and that young man was found hung at the university, they try to say it's a suicide. There's been a lot of Black people being found dead, hung in trees across the. So I think there's been one in the north, but mostly across the southern states. And recently, about 2 weeks ago, a 29-year-old woman was found hanging in a tree in a backyard of a Mississippi abandoned home. I'm convinced, like one of the older guys that work with him, he's like the KKK is in full force. That's
what
all
you mean?
Because it's not just her, it's not just the student from last. It's been at least 6 to 7 people that's been found, Black people that's hung in the last months in these southern states. Like they back in full force. They're not even hiding no more.
They're called sundown towns.
Yeah. And like I said, black people, be careful. Let's go back to start need sundown to start using the buddy system. Just like recommend it to buddy at this point, because it's just
you just gotta. Yeah, you can't go somewhere by yourself in certain towns, certain areas of town. Like it's always been like that. Even up here, I feel like it's certain areas and places that I just don't want to be in Wisconsin. Okay.
For us Black folks, anywhere up Green Bay, we are not allowed to be up there after dark. We are liable to come up missing going anywhere past Green Bay, Wisconsin after dark. Especially if you by yourself. So please make sure you use the buddy system. Let's go back to using the buddy system.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate. It's just the negative connotations behind it, right? Because they're hanging from trees and such. Like, come on, y'all. Somebody, it don't necessarily have to be the KKK. It can be somebody doing that to try to make it seem like it is the KKK. The KKK ain't never gonna go away. And
it's like just the fact that all
Black Panthers are still out and about. Like, these organizations ain't going nowhere.
And it's the fact that these coroners been all ruling these as suicides and not actually investigating them as murder is the crazy part about the whole situation.
So especially like when these people are hanging from trees and there don't be any sign of like, how did they get up there? Like, okay, so you telling me that they climbed up the tree, tried a sturdy branch, tied themselves to the tree and jumped off the branch?
Because like you trying to tell me there's like no stepping stool, like nothing for them to.
Right, and then so many people are doing it that way. Like hanging is not a common way to like do suicide.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like overdosing.
And then on top of that, how many Black people y'all know climbing in trees? I'm gonna be honest. You don't see Black people climbing in trees. Most of the time, only time you're gonna see us off the ground is in the aeroplane or on a roller coaster. That's about the only time you're gonna see us off the ground, and you rarely see us in aeroplanes. And so you might more likely see it on the roller coaster getting off the ground, but anything else, you're not. It's just not gonna happen. So, like I said, for them to be ruling all these black people being hung in trees as suicide, I just don't see that as no, I don't see it. So I got a few clips to get through. I didn't have time to arrange these in order, so and then some of these I haven't watched the whole clip either. So we're gonna be watching some of these together. So let's get into this first clip. Gotta do it right.
The United States Army is offering some service members a 4-day pass to play Grand Theft Auto 6 as an incentive to re-enlist for at least 2 more years in this unit. The U.S. Army unit allowing this? Army's 9th Brigade Engineering Battalion, located in Georgia. It's at Fort Stewart. It's part of the 3rd Infantry Division. And at least 20 soldiers have already signed up for this new perk. There are plenty of enlistment bonuses that the Army gives out. College tuition, for example. And now, time off to go play the new Grand Theft Auto game. Now, people have been waiting for this Grand Theft Auto version for a long time, and it is coming on November 19th, unless that date is pushed. But any soldier who decides to sign a re-enlistment contract between August 1st, 2026 and November 14th will be authorized for a, quote, special 4-day pass designated to coincide with the highly anticipated release of the video game Grand Theft Auto 6. About 130 soldiers are eligible for this incentive, according to CBS. Follow for more.
That's incredibly stupid.
I would not
you gonna risk your life to play a video game. You gonna sign back on for like another 2 years to
go fight in a pointless war
for 4
that has nothing. To spend 4 days playing a video game to end up in one of Trump's pointless wars that he said that he wasn't going to start.
Listen, all I know is I hope y'all, all of y'all, because I know everybody's gonna be playing that game, be prepared for me to crash out when y'all talking about something y'all ain't got no money for my baby on his birthday.
I ain't got no money. I already took PTO to make sure I was off for the release of this game. I put in PTO. I had put in PTO. It was supposed to come out in May, and I had put in PTO last year to make sure I was off this past May for the Grand Theft Auto release. Then they pushed it back. So then after as soon as they announced, they pushed it back to the new release date. So I had to put in more PTO to make sure I was off so I could play the game.
All I know is Torian better have gifts on his birthday. And I am not finna be subjected to that during the 4-day weekend for Thanksgiving, which is that following week.
That's what you're gonna have to be subjected to.
Nah.
So I'm gonna disappear for a whole 2 weeks playing Grand Theft Auto.
That's fine. I know where you live at.
They ain't gonna see me on social media. They better hope I show up for work.
It's just sad, y'all. Just grown children. Children.
We have waited 13 years for this moment.
I get it, but y'all ain't gonna do nothing but crash the server. So I mean, okay.
You let us crash the server.
Crash on. Right. That's all y'all gonna do is crash the server. I'm gonna be over it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch people playing it, but I'm gonna be over it. I'm pretty sure my kids are going to each have different versions, PS5s or Xbox or computer. They probably have one for each, knowing them.
And the crazy part about it is they're talking about when the game first come out, they only gonna have a digital copy. I was like, I want the actual physical copy with the disc. And they're talking about they're not gonna do the physical copies until December. So if you want the disc version, you'll have to buy the disc version when it come out, or play it when everybody else played when it first come out. Then you have to go buy it also, which is bananas. But yeah. All right, let's head into this clip.
We have major news right now. Amazon is buying up massive quantities of rare books, scanning them for AI training, and destroying them in the process. New bombshell reporting from 404 Media confirms that Amazon has a massive new book buying operation. It's never been reported before. And essentially, 404 Media put a tracking device in a rare book that they suspected would be acquired by an AI company for training data. They proceeded to follow this rare book to its final destination. The final destination, an Amazon warehouse in Las Vegas, Nevada, where Amazon employees told 404 Media that what they do is they receive massive shipments of printed books, they cut the binding off, then they scan the books in order to train AI. We've known that AI companies were doing this, but we've never known that Amazon is doing this. And in the process, destroying books, rare books, antique books, at mass scale. People need to know what's happening right now. Spread the word. Follow along for all the news you need to know about.
So they're destroying books that might...
I'm confused. What rare books are we talking about? Like, I needed him to be a little bit more specific and give me some examples, because, and then training the AI to do what? Like, are these grimoires and their special spells or something? Like, what are we talking about? Training them to do what? I don't understand.
I have no idea. I don't know if they just scanning these books. So somebody asks, like, is such and such happening? What happened on page 5 of such and such book? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Because when you talk into like an AI tool or something like that, that's the only thing I think of that it can be used for.
That's dumb as all get out, though. That don't make sense to me, because rare books have been or can be reprinted to the masses. So I don't understand. I mean, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Harvard. I don't know. It's one of them prestigious. Oh yeah, Harvard did some crazy stuff too. But anyway, one of those prestigious schools have books that are bound by human skin. Like, so it's like, what rare books are we talking about? So I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out. And then to give it to the AI is crazy. I don't know. And while I'm on the subject of Harvard, I believe Harvard had to pay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to look it up real quick so I can give you accurate information. So Harvard just recently agreed to pay $53 million in a settlement to resolve lawsuits from families after a manager of the Harvard Medical School morgue stole and sold body parts from donated cadavers on the black market between 2018 and 2022. Okay, so his name was Cedric Lodge. He stole dissected remains, including heads, brains, skins, bones, and hearts, without the school's knowledge. Him and his wife sold the human remains online and smuggled buyers into the morgue to select parts. So it looks like he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 8 years, with multiple co-conspirators who also received prison time. But then Harvard had to pay $53 million. So it was a class action fund. It was established to compensate the affected donor families. So people can choose to donate their body to science, upon their death. But I don't know. So I'm confused, because it's like cadavers are like basically like embalmed, right? So that medical students or people who are studying medicine in some shape or form, like me in nursing school, I went to Marquette University and got a chance to go into their cadaver lab, right? And they show you all different things, all different parts of the body. You get to see a full like nervous system on display. It's pretty cool, right? But why are these parts being like put on the black market? I'm confused. Like, were they before they became the cadavers or afterwards? Like, are you selling these organs for transplants? Because it's weird, right? You would have to do that basically right when a person dies to harvest that organ. But then they said cadaver, so you really can't use a cadaver part for anything because it's not usable in a human body anymore. So I'm confused as to what was happening, unless it was a rare genetic something or another that somebody wanted to have on display, right? Like somebody having two heads or something, or I don't know what they come
Yeah,
across, or a
they been
hand with
doing
six
some Dahmer
fingers,
stuff.
or so just people do like to collect strange things. So maybe just some weird and strange things that the morgue director came across and sold them, because it said
It was
that the people were smuggled in to select their body parts.
cooking them,
It's crazy.
taking them home. I don't know. That's some crazy shit. God. Um. Wow. Oh God. Let's head into the next clip of shenanigans.
Governor Shapiro signed an executive order that forces data centers to pay for their own power in the state of Pennsylvania. He's implementing a strict regulatory framework known as the Governor's Responsible Infrastructure Development Grid Requirements. Since these tech companies have to pay for 100% of their electricity costs and any grid upgrades required to host them, homeowners and local businesses are legally shielded from absorbing infrastructure costs, even if a data center goes bankrupt or shuts down. Additionally, in the event of a grid emergency or peak demand, data centers will be shut off first to ensure residents keep their power. The order also bans Commonwealth agencies from signing NDAs regarding data center developments, forcing tech firms to be transparent with the public. Developers have to source a significant portion of their electricity from clean energy sources to mitigate massive emission spikes. They also have to obtain permits from the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, which will strictly monitor pollution and water usage. Fast-track state permits have been eliminated, and local communities now hold veto power. Why isn't every state doing this?
Every state definitely needs to be passing that
Yeah, I think
because
that's a good idea. Yeah,
because I
definitely.
I mean like, I believe I played a clip on a pre-recorded episode that came out where they were talking about, I believe it was down in Georgia. The woman was like she didn't have no water pressure in her house, and the water that did finally come out, the water is very dirty and contaminated. The AI data centers was releasing waters into community, flooding people houses and stuff like that. Um, there's another situation where a data center. What was in that video? The data center had cut power to. I don't know if it's in this one of these videos or another, but a data center was they was building a data center and they somehow cut power to a tornado siren in Indiana, and the tornado siren didn't go off when the tornado happened. And by the way, they still don't have power. There's some houses in Indiana that was affected by that tornado that still don't have power. So here's the people in Indiana. So yeah, I feel like this is something we need. There was a data center that was built in California where they built their own source of electricity and within the neighborhood, but then it was almost like oh, and it's this tall like stack thing, but you don't see nothing coming out of it till you put like a thermal over it, and you can see all this pollutants being released into a community and stuff. And a lot of these people wonder like why we're getting sick and all these other kind of things because they illegally built this thing to produce power for this data center, and it was releasing these fossil fuels into communities. So yeah, we there needs to be regulations when it comes to these data centers. And one of the things here in Wisconsin is we have data centers here, and a lot of those data centers are not paying for electricity. I believe that's one of the reasons why We Energies is which what's called in our area Wisconsin Electric from back in the day. But We Energies I think it's the reason why they constantly keep talking about price hikes. That's the reason why electric bills has constantly gone up. Um, because the past election bill that we received, it was $267, and I'm like that. I'm like, and I'm like, that's crazy. So I can only imagine how it is for people where it's more than two people in the house, and I can only imagine how much those electric bills be. So good God. But yeah, and that's why I said these data centers need to pay their own fair share. There's this one state where a data center where they're trying to build power to a data center, and they basically use the what do they call that thing? They just take your property from you. I can't think of the name,
What
but
you mean take
basically
a
they
property?
so like the city eminent domain. So they use eminent domain on this lady house, and they telling her you got to move out. We taking your house, and they tore down. They basically tearing down her house that she grew up in, that her family owned, and then she grew up in this house. They tearing her house down to build the the electricity go to the AI data center, and she hasn't. And then, like I said, didn't have no say so any of it. So yeah, we need regulations when it comes to these AI data centers. All right, now let's head into this next clip.
A 23-year-old was thrown in jail, forced to surrender her car, and even had her passport revoked after a flock camera tied her to a triple fatal hit and run that she had no involvement in. Lindsay Brooke Isaacs was wrongfully targeted in a 7-month investigation and spent 13 days in jail because of this. In October of last year, an SUV traveling over 100 miles per hour swerved across multiple lanes of traffic on the interstate in Florida. It sideswiped a motorcycle and slammed into a Honda Pilot, causing a massive pileup before fleeing the scene. This led to 3 people losing their lives. Eyewitnesses initially told the police they saw a black Dodge Durango cause the crash. So Florida Highway Patrol investigators ran a search using flock cameras, which flagged Isaac's black 2025 Dodge Durango passing a camera roughly 2 miles from the crash site just 2 minutes prior to the wreck. However, it was later proven that Isaacs was already well past the crash scene when the collision actually occurred. Just hours later, cops showed up to Isaac's parents' house at 1 a.m. Despite Isaacs asserting her innocence and pointing out her SUV had no damage, troopers still seized the vehicle as evidence. They kept her car for 7 months. During this time, Isaacs lived under the constant threat of life in prison, facing so much stress she ultimately quit her job. In April, the police ordered her to turn herself in. She was then arrested on an active warrant and slapped with 8 severe charges, including 3 counts of leaving the scene of a crash involving death and 3 counts of vehicular homicide. She spent 13 days in jail as this investigation continued to play out. The cops claimed in their original arrest affidavit that Isaac's car had smudges consistent with the crash. However, pictures later proved that there was absolutely no damage to her car. The troopers also ignored a 911 call that explicitly said the suspect's car was actually maroon. Forensics teams then analyzed other vehicles involved in the pileup and found maroon paint transfers. Thankfully, all of the charges against Isaacs were eventually dropped, and they did find the person who was truly guilty.
That is very poor policing. Very, very
Mm-hmm.
poor policing. And I want to know if cameras has ever really helped them solve a crime. Because every time we hear about it, I've never heard that, the flock cameras help us find a severely missing person. Missing person, or these flock cameras helped us find a murderer. Like, I've not heard. The only thing I heard of these flock doing is getting officers caught up by searching for people that they should be searching for because they're not doing an official investigation.
Yeah, I
And
don't. I never
people been
understood that.
in
Like,
jail.
you never. We haven't really heard of anybody getting busted because of the flock camera. Like, it's all this. It's all this
Misuse
stuff
of
that
it.
the police is doing that they ain't supposed to be doing.
And we just had an incident recently where we had a full highway closure shut down because a flock camera, marked the car, whatever you call it, flocked the car, and talking about it was involved in a murder case. And it turns out that the police no longer needed the car, and it had nothing to do with the murder in the first place. It was like, and they had these people get out the car at gunpoint. Like, it was just crazy.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Yeah. Let's head this next clip.
This week, a 1-year-old baby appeared in immigration court alone without a lawyer, and a judge told the 1-year-old baby to file an asylum claim. The person that was supposed to be there to stick up for this 1-year-old baby remained silent the entire time. Significant new reporting from Notice confirms that in Arizona this week, a 1-year-old baby was in court alone. Well, not fully alone. An attorney from the U.S. Committee for Refugees, which is one of the groups that the Department of Homeland Security under Trump has contracted to represent migrant children, was supposed to be there with the 1-year-old. An attorney was there, stayed silent the entire time. This 1-year-old baby was in court essentially alone, no parents. The attorney that was supposed to represent the baby didn't say a word, and the judge told the baby, looked at the baby and said, file an asylum claim. That is the reality for so many unaccompanied minors in the United States of America right now, and it just shows where we are as a nation in this moment. Spread the word, follow along for all the news you need to know about.
No.
You.
No.
It's not funny, but it's like, did he really tell a 1-year-old baby that you need to file it? Like what?
Nah.
Like that judge need to be fired, and the judge and the lawyer need to be fired from their job.
Please don't piss me off.
This is the world we live in. Let's head into this next clip and see what else shenanigans this administration got going on.
It's a bunch of stupid motherfuckers.
Donald Trump is moving closer to declaring a national emergency, and in recent weeks, he and his team have taken significant steps to getting there. You need to be aware of what's happening in this moment right now because it is serious. In recent weeks, the president and his team have become rapidly declassifying election-related documents to lay the groundwork of ultimately declaring this national emergency. They've also begun increasing public claims over non-citizen voting using dubious methods. And the kicker came over the past 48 hours where the USPS published a rule that would prevent states from receiving voter mail-in ballots if they don't provide information to USPS. That rule is on hold. But despite it being on hold because it was blocked by multiple judges, they still went ahead and published it in case that the injunctions are overturned somehow. Experts are sounding the alarm this Sunday because we are moving closer to Election Day. We are also moving closer towards this national emergency declaration, and you need to be aware, so spread the word and follow for more.
Anything for fraud and corruption. And to keep his power, just all you gotta do is say, I want to rig this election come November.
I'm over
That's all he gotta do. That's all he gotta do. Let's head into this next clip.
People argue that you cannot tax billionaires on the shares that they hold in a company because it is an unrealized gain, right? So they go like, yeah, you're worth 300 billion, but we can't tax you on those stocks because you haven't sold the shares, so you don't like have the money. But you're worth the money, but you don't have the money. And I understand the argument. They go like, no, you don't have it. It's just what it's worth because it could also crash and then you have nothing, so we can't tax you on it. Then I'm like, okay, I understand that. So you can't tax the people on a thing because they don't have it. It's just there. Okay, fine. Then Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter. And then he says in his offer, he goes, I'm putting up my Tesla stock as collateral. Then I'm like, so you do have it? Then he's like, no, I don't have it. Now that they've accepted his offer, he now goes to private equity and banks and like other rich people and whatever. He goes like, can you guys borrow me the money to buy Twitter? Because I don't want to sell any of my Tesla shares. So I want to use your money to buy Twitter. But then they're like, what are we loaning it against? And he's like, well, my Tesla shares. Then I'm going like, wait. So you can buy a thing based on what you have. Yes. But when we want to tax you, you can say, I don't have it. Do you hear what I'm saying here? And now, like, just think of like the illogic of it. It's like it's such a fun game that like billionaires get to play because all their money is in that. Like if you earn your money as a salary, that your money just gets taxed. That's it. You can't be like the IRS comes and you can't be like, I don't have that money. You can't be like, that money's in the bank. I don't have that money. What money? It's in the bank. Only when I take it out, then you can tax me. For now, it's in the bank, IRS. No, IRS is like, don't worry, we've got your PIN number. We'll handle this.
That's the whole reason why they got to be where they are. As far as net worth, because they do stuff like that.
Scam the system. As soon as a poor person try to do the same thing and scam the system, boom, you in jail for fraud.
I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to afford healthcare right now.
That is, yeah, healthcare is ridiculous right now. With all this stuff going on, he worried about the wrong thing. Because I be trying to tell people, like, I work for a healthcare facility. That healthcare facility owns a health insurance company. And that health insurance company provide all the staff members there with health insurance. But we go to use that health insurance, it don't cover nothing. You got to pay $1,400 out of pocket for an MRI or a CAT scan. If you want to go get just basic labs done, that's $300 to $400 out of pocket. And then on top of that, you want to go to ER visit, that's $1,400. I went to, like, somebody had a work related injury, something with their arm, $1,400 bill for a muscle injury in the arm. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on, like, the healthcare is just such a scam. We got this current administration, like, all these healthcare systems are suffering. They're trying to do everything they can to penny pinch they staff and everything that they got going on, because here comes Donald Trump want to cut all these people off of Medicaid and Medicare, in which a lot of the healthcare system depends on Medicaid and Medicare to stay open because of law, because they still have to treat people who don't have health insurance due to a law that was that's passed. So now we got all these bills, and we don't spend all this money. We don't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to treat this. Just do universal health care. Just how about we do that? Universal health care. Why is it so hard to get? Can we please get universal health care? And I'm done with my rant.
We ain't gonna see universal health care, I feel like, for like another 20 years, man.
That shit sucks. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
And yet this man can spend $400 million on a ballroom still of American tax dollars that he said that wasn't going to be used with American tax dollars, but it is going to be used with American tax dollars to build this $400 million ballroom. Because what people don't know is he been pulling money from, he said that the money came from private donors, and it didn't. He been pulling money from all our national parks. So he cut funding to all our national parks to fund this $400 million ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
Over it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's head into the next clip. Please let it be something better. Please let it be something funny.
It might be.
Let's see.
When we hear that the boomer generation pulled the ladder up behind them, here's what we mean. The boomers' parents and grandparents in the late 1930s decided to pass Social Security. So the boomer generation was the first generation that was inherited this social program where they knew going to work, they were going to have some form of retirement through the government and the collective. Then in 1956, they decided to build the interstate highways. 41,000 miles of interstate highways was given to the boomer generation, and most of it was covered by the federal government. Then in 1965, they were given Medicare, so they knew when they retired that they were going to have health insurance. Medicaid was also passed around that time. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, housing was affordable. It wasn't looked at as an asset like it is today. It was just a thing that people were able to buy. And then you created the NIMBY mindset, not in my backyard. You got houses and then created zoning regulations and didn't want affordable housing coming in near your neighborhoods to prop up your value. In college in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, when the boomers were in college, it was $300 a year, maybe up to $2,000 a year for state public schools. And as soon as the boomers graduated college, the administration at the time says, you know what, this college thing is not a public good, it's a private luxury. Let's put the burden on the family and on the students. And that led to $1.8 trillion of debt. And now we've had this much growth in 50 years, and we look around. Did our generation get any programs? Did we get free college, free healthcare, respectable paid maternity and paternity leave? Did we get a 4-day work week? We don't have high-speed rails. Yet,
The silent generation and boomer generation leadership got us $40 trillion in debt. The only thing that has changed is we have given all the power to the corporations, not the people. We greenlit stock buybacks. We switched from pensions to 401ks. We allowed the dominance of private equity and leverage buyouts. We allowed super PACs to happen and racked up $40 trillion. It is not the individual boomer's fault who's watching this. We do not think that you maliciously voted to screw over your children's generation. We're asking for the accountability now. These are not predictions. We're looking in the past. There's proof. Please help us. How was your parents and grandparents able to provide things for you to make your life easier, and you guys aren't reciprocating and doing the same thing for us? That's our complaint. Work with us, please.
He didn't lie.
Help me.
I just feel like that's how everybody be like, help me, nigga.
Dog, man, groceries cost too much, healthcare costs too much. I ain't gonna be able to retire.
I swear that's what it feels like.
Gas is too damn high. Cars cost too damn much.
Gas is $4 a gallon by my house. The price of new cars, and people are not gonna be able to sell these newer cars no more, because now these 2026 cars and newer, depending on the company, are putting these cameras inside, like the ones we saw where, I cannot start the car. You need to calm down. Like, bitch, it's a tornado behind me. I need you to start before I can go. But y'all gonna tell me because I'm too emotional, because I'm trying to get my car around for a tornado, and now my car won't start because the tornado. It's too much. It's too much. I don't like this government. We need to unplug the government and replug it back up.
Education is trash. Now the Department of Education is suing or investigating the MPS.
And then,
like, Mrs. McMahon, I need you to go have several seats. Okay, I'm still waiting on you to charge off my college debt. What's going on?
And here's another thing. They send a generation after us as the generation that's not as smart as previous generations, is what they're claiming. And a lot of the teachers has been getting online. There's been a lot of teachers on TikTok, and they have been crying. They're upset. They say we are doing everything that we can possibly do to help kids. And there was this one teacher in particular. It was two different ones. Well, the first one, this was a male, and he was on there crying. He was saying that he was doing a lesson in his classroom, and it was basically like a fill in the blank, something very simple, and it was like finish the sentence structure, like finish the sentence. And he said the kids could not do that. And there's another teacher who was saying that they got kids who can't read basic first, second grade books. And then it was like she went to the principal to try to get new books that she bought herself with her own money. As you already know, teachers really don't make enough money as right now. But she went and bought her own books for the kids to read that's on their grade. The principal said no, they can't have that. And she said, here, let them read this. And these kids are in the 6th, 7th grade, but you telling them to read a 3rd grade level book. Like, what are we doing? And y'all wonder why these kids seem less educated and why they can't write proper sentences or put something as simple as da 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 blank. Like, it's just people wonder why, and be like, because the government is failing kids. The school system is a joke across this whole entire country. The school system is a joke, and then they are saying that this current generation right now spend more time in school than we did growing up, and yet they are still not on the level of that we are, and it's sad.
And on top of that, they trying to convince y'all not to immunize y'all kids.
That too, especially that man that smoked 18 packs of cigarettes and did coke off a toilet seat.
Talking about something, we gonna split up the MMR vaccine because it's safer. Says who?
I got all these vaccines as a kid, and I am just fine.
Says who? I had to do some research on when the vaccines were created, when they were created as a combination vaccine, so you get all three in one. Like, I did a whole bunch of research, and it's like, so it's been about, let me see, about 30, about 50 years we've been using the MMR vaccine, right?
Mhm.
That's more than enough time to gather research on any possible side effects. Who is having side effects from this MMR vaccine other than if you're allergic, right? Injection site irritation, right? One of the safer vaccines on the market, right? But y'all wanted us to take the COVID vaccine that hadn't been tested on nothing. But now you telling us you want to split. And then so you telling me I gotta take my kid to go get 3 separate shots instead of one? Come on now.
Stupid. And it's crazy. I'm like, because I received the polio shot as a kid. I got chicken pox shot. I still got chicken pox with the people just say measles now. I remember every year before school, hepatitis shots and all kind of stuff before, and this was just before school started. I had to get these shots every year, and I think up until like 7th, 8th grade is when they stopped requiring me to get these shots every year. But I would have to go every year before school started. In order to attend school, I had to get vaccinated. And I feel like we all did just fine.
Y'all keep on listening to old boy that smoked 20 packs of cigarettes a day. Y'all gonna turn into some zombies like him.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be out here. My kids are vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. My parents were Come on now, we do not need polio coming back. That's good on that.
Right. Huh. Let's head into this next clip because I don't have a clue what it is. So here we go.
We have major news right now that could impact media for a very long time. The Trump administration is facing significant pushback as we speak from media companies as overreach by Brendan Carr and the FCC is exploding. ABC and Disney recently filed a First Amendment lawsuit against the Trump administration, against the FCC, against Brendan Carr for retaliating against Disney and ABC. It comes as Republicans are growing concerned about Brendan Carr's tenure. From Tom DeLay to Senator John Kennedy, they are not happy with Brendan Carr. One conservative commentator pointed out that Carr's positions today directly contradict his own 2019 statement that, quote, the FCC has historically micromanaged the business operations of local broadcasts and it must stop. 21 conservative groups have even sent a letter to Carr arguing and warning that license renewal should not be a newfound tool for influencing lawful negotiations. This didn't come out of nowhere, right? This isn't surprising. Carr pushed through a party line vote recently to eliminate FCC's 39% ownership cap, and Trump is actively trying to stack the FCC with Carr allies. He just nominated one of his staff attorneys to an open seat on the FCC. But that's not all. He's literally choosing to insert the FCC into local stations' negotiations with affiliates with the big four networks. Essentially, what he's doing is he's threatening the licenses of stations if they reach agreements that he doesn't like. Stunning. The Trump administration is trying to take over complete control over the media landscape, and Brendan Carr is the one leading the charge. But they're getting pushback majorly, and it's happening right now. Spread the word, follow for more.
All I can say is about time. When it comes about damn time these companies start standing up to this administration. About time. And that's all I have to say about that.
I agree.
All right, let's head into this next one.
The United States federal government just posted a record budget deficit for the month of July in history. A $432.3 billion government deficit in the month of July. And Republican infighting is exploding over it because Republicans are saying, well, Mr. President, isn't this what DOGE was for? Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida says the failure of DOGE in one sentence in response to the highest July budget deficit ever recorded in history, the largest one-month deficit since 2021. Donald Trump and this idea of fiscal conservatism do not go together. Republicans have long argued that Democrats add too much money to the deficit, that we're too much in debt, and yet we are adding to the debt and to the deficit at a record pace right now. And it's not making many Republicans too happy, and this infighting is set to really explode ahead of 2028. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Spread the word. Follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. There'll be more to come soon.
It's because you're gonna get me started, man. Celebrating the 200 and whatever. What is it? 250?
The America's 250 celebration. Only 16 people went to. And now they got some like 250 Grand Prix thing that's going on for racing now. That I guess that's supposed to be going on in DC. It's like this man is constantly wasting money. And it's on top of that, America bought 2 brand new Air Force Ones that's supposed to be delivered to our country in 2028 by Boeing. But Trump couldn't wait until 2028 for that jet. So he took American taxpayers' dollars and spent $1 billion to retrofit his private jet that he got from the Qatari people, into an Air Force One, and that he's going to take with him when he leave the White House. So we basically paid for this man to get a jet and then paid $1 billion to upgrade his private jet.
There was a whole scandal going on with Boeing. I just watched the documentary yesterday.
They always got something going on.
They got off scot-free pretty much. They don't have to. Well, they have to change some things, but like no CEOs and nobody like faced any criminal charges where they knew the pieces that they were putting on these airplanes were faulty. And I believe one of the whistleblowers died, if I'm not mistaken.
You wonder why things be so bad. Let's head into this next story of shenanigans. Please let it be some funny, because I can't take no more.
Okay, listen, July was the hottest month ever recorded in the United States. 50 police officers have been caught using flock cameras to stalk women, and only 26 of them have faced charges. Measles cases are at a 35-year record high. The president just called the vaccine for that illness quite lethal, and the person in charge of our health is potentially the stupidest man alive. There are over 800 data centers under construction in this country right now, with another 3,967 being planned or in the pipeline. Colorado River, which supplies 50 million people with fresh water, is currently sitting at 31%, a historic low. Over 1,000 people have been killed in Shmaza since the ceasefire. We are still at war with Iran, and ICE is still ripping through communities with their budget set to be $250 billion. Oh, and 30 people have died in their custody since October. Also, our president is still a fascist. They're still pillaging our public lands for resources, and they're still putting poison in our food. Now listen, if you can hear all of that and still decide that your core issues are Muslims invading the country, trans athletes, and Fauci telling you to wear a mask 6 fucking years ago, then you are stupid. I don't even think you're stupid. You're just stupid.
Off topic. You find
Heavy on it 6 years ago.
Right. You find the nails, darling. They were serving.
But, look, he brought up the MMR vaccine again. They're talking about something. That's the reason why we got to split. That's why they want to split it apart. Talking about something is lethal together to make it less lethal if they split it apart. The MMR vaccine, bro. Okay.
He's just bored with too much time on his hands. That's all it is.
Listen, I've never had the measles, mumps, nor have I had rubella. None of them. So whatever they gave me worked.
I had measles, but I never had the mumps and all that other stuff. But yeah. Whew. Let's head into this next clip.
It's the middle of the night right now, and Canada just suspended all trade negotiations with the United States because Donald Trump kept trying to screw them. Just moments ago, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney put out this statement saying that they've been working on a trade deal with the United States, trying to achieve these things, and that the relationship with America will never be the same because Trump has ruined it. And he says, however, the progress has not been enough for Canadians. As a result, this evening, I've decided to suspend all trade negotiations with the U.S. and have directed negotiators to return to Canada. At midnight tonight, the United States intends to impose a 50% tariff on $28 billion of Canadian goods, and Canada will match those tariffs dollar for dollar to protect our workers and businesses.
Just like that, the United States is in yet another trade war with Canada, all because Donald Trump wants to push away our allies. It's insane.
Can somebody just order him a Big Mac and make him just stop doing stuff and just shut up?
Listen, I seen a post on social media. I can't remember which one it was. Where it was a young lady had posted a clip of her grandfather. They were in line like for some food somewhere. In the back of his shirt said Obama for 2028 since rules don't matter anymore.
I need that shirt. It is a show don't feel like rules just don't matter no more at this point. Y'all do better this country. Let's head into the next clip because this looks like this is one of Tina's favorite redhead.
Yay.
You know, it didn't used to be this way, right? You know that the corruption and bribery wasn't this open. The president's son didn't used to be able to buy electronic arts. Sorry, son-in-law. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting which one of his sons are worth billions of dollars from their insider trading and their connections with the Saudis. I keep forgetting which one of them is a crypto billionaire versus a real estate billionaire. Which one of them is involved in an island in the Caribbean versus the Mediterranean. It's just open. It's open corruption to the point where when my kid is old enough, I'm going to demand, if he goes to business classes, that there needs to be a class on bribery. Because if we're not going to stop this, then we need to make sure that people are taught how to be as openly corrupt as the president. Because right now we have a chance to actually get oversight in the next few months if everybody steps up and goes, hey, this is bullshit. We're tired of it. Every day, this man just sold his own internet post. The president of the United States sold his own internet posts so investors could get access to them seconds earlier so they could do insider trading for a pop of $100,000 a month. The president made $2.2 billion on selling his own crypto shitcoin last year. Did you make $2.2 billion? Do you have a shitcoin? No. You have lettuce that you are afraid to eat because you might poop yourself to death with a Medicare bill. That's where we're stuck right. That's where we're stuck right now. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's just going so great.
His clips get more unhinged as long. The longer he talk, he just keep remembering all the BS, and he just gets angrier and angrier and angrier. Oh,
they always start off so normal, and then they just get
more and more unhinged as he continues. He just like the reality just like sets in or something. I don't know. Wee. But he ain't wrong. I mean, I'm all for a bribery class now. Something.
If they can teach a mafia history class in college, they can teach a class on bribery at this point.
Corruption, bribery, something.
Right. All right, let's head into this next one. Please let it.
Stop scrolling and watch the horrific moment ICE agents try to arrest a mother and a daughter in a hospital in Florida after another driver caused a near-fatal accident for the two of them. The mother and the daughter are both from Ecuador. Daughter's 19, mother's 39. They were rushed to the hospital in Kissimmee, Florida, the HCA Florida Ponciana Hospital, after another driver caused a near-fatal accident for them. When they arrived, ICE agents sought to detain them. They were there at no fault of their own, and yet they faced this separation. In this video, you can see as ICE trying to separate them, literally dragging the mother out of the hospital room. Relatives claim that the daughter was suffering from a seizure at the time. No matter what you think about undocumented immigration and undocumented immigrants in this country, videos like these should never be normalized in American society. People need to continue seeing these moments, and people need to keep speaking out. I'll have more updates for you soon. As always, spread the word and follow along for more news.
Wow. That's sad.
It is. But I expect it. Unfortunately,
Where is the human decency in people? Like,
there is none. It's rare now. It's really rare.
Let's head into this next clip because it's another clip of Tina's favorite head.
And what happened to support the troops? Huh? Where'd that go? They used to weaponize the hell out of that my whole life, this whole century. Like legit, this whole century. 25 years. They've been like, support the troops. Support the veterans. We gotta support the troops. I'd be like, yo, maybe we could do this thing over here for everybody. No, because we gotta boot. We gotta support the troops. We gotta give the troops everything they need. I'd be like, okay, what about helping this guy over here? And he's not a veteran. We gotta be doing all this stuff for the veterans. And then we don't support the troops or veterans? We don't. I'm not even talking about like the fact that the veteran parking sign at Applebee's been bent for 6 months now. Nobody fucking fixing it, even though it's the good parking and nobody's even checking whether or not that hat is real. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the troops right now. They ain't even got food. The troops don't even got food. The troops don't even got fucking, they don't got bases. The bases for the food got blown up months ago. They're hiding the troops' injuries. The fucking troops' moms is calling up and being like, yo, what are you doing to my kid? And they're going to the press conference being like, yo, that troop's mom's a liar. What are we doing here? What the fuck happened here? What happened? Support the troops. You ain't supporting nobody. And then if you bring it up, they're like, yo, we got to do this for freedom. And I'm like, I thought this was about gas prices. And they're like, fuck your gas prices. I hope you pay more. And you're like, yo, what?
So that went from zero from that just was already straight at 1,000 already.
Support the troops. Support the troops. I'm gonna do this over here for everybody. No, because we have to support the troops, and then we're not supporting the troops.
Wait, because you hear like support the troops all the time, and now you just don't hear anything about supporting troops anymore.
Legit for the last century, like he said.
And like on the boat, like this is was the I don't know the name of the ship they're on over there, but they was like jumping off. There were reports of like troops jumping overboard and stuff because of the conditions on the ship that somebody was barely being fed, all kind of stuff. It's just a mess. The whole situation is just a mess over there. Support your troops, people. Support the troops. Let's head into the next clip.
I thought we were supposed to refrain from attacking religious leaders.
Listen, real quick, Pastor. I have no problem attacking wolves in sheep's clothing. I have no problem attacking a man who wrote that American slavery was mutually harmonious between the slave master and the slave. That's you. I have no problem attacking a man who proudly says he wants to do away with the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. I have no problem attacking a man like yourself who sits here incoherently supporting an incoherent, unwinnable, illegal war in Iran. I have no problem attacking you, a man who is the religious leader of Pete Hegseth, a man who's a cosplay crusader, who's leading some type of crusade, probably you put him on, as a Secretary of Defense, getting Americans and innocent civilians. I wish you would be a better Christian. I wish you would open up the Bible. I wish you would meet the Jesus that I met when I went to an all-boys Jesuit Catholic high school. The Jesus that took care of the sick, that took care of the poor, that welcomed the immigrant, that welcomed the marginalized, that helped them. But instead, you've used Jesus as a mascot for, I don't know, your white Christian supremacy, your cruelty, your misogyny. And I'm so glad that people are finally waking up to your cruelty.
All right, Pastor, your response.
Just incidentally, we know that Jesus was not a socialist because he could actually feed people.
Wonderful. Great response.
That's what you got.
He said, he
just straight cooked you, and that was your response. Like
that was his response. He didn't have nothing else to hold on to. Nothing else to hold on to.
So they made like you need to open up a Bible. All right. Say it to this.
You can say whatever you want to say, but this Muslim is putting Christians to shame. He is.
Yes. And
I'm not a religious man, This dude watched the fucking World Cup in prison. He went to jail to watch them in prison. He talked about how a couple of 100,000 black people had left New York and he wanted them to come back.
We've lost 200,000 black New Yorkers from New York City over the last few decades alone. The population of black children and teenagers down by 19% from 2010 to 2019. And that is a hollowing out of this city. So many of the most iconic black neighborhoods now seem more iconic for the history than what the future could hold because of that fear of displacement. And to me, when you deliver on that agenda, you also deliver on the promise of black history being something that can continue to be written in the city, not something just that we read about.
Are you saying that your economic agenda is you're hoping that it will address the black flight, what something that some people have called a black exodus from this city? Is that what you're saying?
I think that it is a critical part of it.
Right.
And the reason it's a critical part of it is that the absence of that agenda has driven so many out of this city. And we are effectively seeing the reversal of the Great Migration.
Yes.
And it's not for a lack of love for this city. You'll find New Yorkers everywhere across the country. They're still New Yorkers. They'll tell you they're New Yorkers. But they haven't been able to afford New York. Right. And even the people you meet in New York City, sometimes when you ask them, where do you live? Pennsylvania, Connecticut, right. Jersey City. They just can't afford life here.
The thing of the matter is, it isn't who you worship, it's the face. Like in America, we had to create these deities in our image so that we could worship them. Jesus had to look like Tristan from Legends of the Fall, or people couldn't do it.
A Legends of the Fall fucking reference.
Like Brad Pitt.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty good.
And the truth, if you are real, I think that there is more to say for a man that lifts the poor, that feeds the hungry, that employs the people who are unemployable, that walks among the people, than powerful white men who consort with a pedophile.
Yeah. Truth.
Who's the more Christ-like?
Only thing I can say about that is preach.
Well, I pray that no harm comes to that man, because a lot of people might be like, oh, it's just a plot or a ploy for him to become the next president. Newsflash, he can't be the president.
He
wasn't born here. He can't be the president, And I feel like, and we kind of discussed this, like New York is the heaviest populated city we have here in America. And just for him to do those type of things there on such a large scale, like that could become the blueprint for a lot of other major cities. And I really hope that some of these leaders are kind of jotting down some notes, because I really feel like you put those things into place, giving more of the population a chance to be a productive member of society, and then things will change around. Because right now everybody is in survival mode. Don't nobody care about if their kids are going to school or any of that stuff, or pursuing a higher education, or they don't care the fact that a lot of these people have degrees like teachers and they getting paid $30,000-$40,000 a year to teach your badass kids. It's not a daycare, sorry, but I really hope no harm comes to him, and I hope that some of the great leaders in the future do take notes.
Cavalier Johnson ain't gonna take no notes.
You leave that man alone. Who voted him in office? Did you?
Who, Cavalier? I did not vote for that man. The people made fun of me tomorrow. Who was a manager at Wendy's. I don't give a damn. That's who I voted for. Because I ain't want. It's all these issues going on in this city, and I swear this man only go on camera when it's convenient for him. I'm just saying. I just go out here like you see the mayor of New York going out here doing things, and it's not because the cameras are flash or anything like that. He's just to be going out and help people and seeing what he could do to actually help people in the city. They're just like my alderman, Malayla Cobbs. I have not seen this woman in about 5 years, and she has ran unopposed for alderwoman in our city, in my district, for I don't know how long. And I swear I'm already start gathering signatures for the next election and get on the ballot and run against her because she's not. You don't talk to your constituents. You don't go and see what is it that I could do for you. How can I make your neighborhood better? Nothing. We don't see them, and that's what. And I don't think that's just my automatic. I think that's anywhere within the city of Milwaukee. Like we don't see our city leaders out in the streets. We don't see them out here talking to us and having real conversations with people. The only time we're going to see them is when they want our vote. And that needs to change. And this next clip was one of the stories they didn't send me, but then I was like, I was going to talk about it, but then I was too lazy and I just found the clip. So here we go. If I can find it.
The mayor of New Berlin, Wisconsin, is catching some heat right now after some things he reposted on Facebook.
It was revolting, actually.
Hi, my name is Jenna Ray. I'm an investigative reporter in Milwaukee. New Berlin Mayor Dave Ament has been reposting things on Facebook like this. Content like this and like this. It's content that's hard to believe an elected official was posting publicly. Now, the Muslim Women's Coalition, along with the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Alliance, are calling for Ament's resignation.
Not only is it virulently anti-Muslim, it's anti-Black, it's anti-immigrant. It's very sexist to the point that it's cringy.
Ament was posting this publicly on Facebook for months until I called on Friday and started asking questions about these posts. His profile is now seemingly private. One video Ament reposted shows a group of people holding Ban Islam Now signs. Another post's caption says, "How to stop a Muslim invasion," accompanied with a video that shows military men throwing bacon at people. We tried several times to talk to Ament on Friday. We even went to his office, which is behind me, tried to talk with him in person and was unable to reach him. Later this afternoon, he sent me an email. The email said in part, "What is on my personal Facebook page does not represent the official position of the city of New Berlin," adding, "It has never been my intention to disparage or offend any individual, including the Muslim community. My intention was simply to share information on matters of public concern." It's public concern that's pretty tough to find on his page. As you scroll through dozens of reposts, there may be one post about the city of New Berlin.
That's the first time I watched that all the way through. I'll be damned.
National No Bra Day is crazy.
That's crazy. I want to get into these last three clips because they're kind of short and because we're already over time. So let's head into these next clips. That man needs to be returned. He needs to step down too, by the way.
Man, these gas prices are just getting way out of control.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's actually insane.
I just can't wait until it's like $1 a gallon again.
$1 a gallon again? Honey, that is some really big optimism. That gas is never going back down to $1 again. We can't even get to under $3.
I mean, it was around $1 30 years ago.
30 years ago?
So you think just because it happened 30 years ago that it can't happen again?
That's typically how it works when it comes to life and stuff like that.
And you should keep that same energy with the Cowboys then, Mr. It's our year for the last 30 years.
That clip was supposed to be for next week. I forgot.
He's sick of her shit.
He is. He really sick of her shit. Oh God. All right, here we go.
Fortnite players are taking over America's air traffic control system. Seriously. According to Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, the Department of Transportation under the Trump administration has escalated the hiring of gamers to take over America's air traffic controller positions. Duffy says that their campaign, which was launched back in April, was meant to, quote, supercharge the entire hiring process and to recruit video gamers as air traffic controllers. Since then, they've reached their 94% hiring goal, the fastest time ever to reach their target. They've hired more than 2,000 new air traffic controllers, saying that over 2,000 of the, quote, best and brightest candidates in the pipeline have reached the academy quicker than any class before them, thanks to, quote, the most streamlined hiring process. And the ad campaign that was launched by the Trump administration specifically features Fortnite as one of the video games that they were looking at to recruit video gamers. So just be aware when you're flying. As always, spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
I'm confused.
You know, some stuff just is better left off not said, because what does Fortnite have to do with landing a plane? It's not a simulator. It is not an air.
These is people lives y'all playing with. I was just thinking the same thing. Like, what does Fortnite have to do with playing? I've never played Fortnite before. Like, isn't that a shooting game? Like, what does that have to do with planes? Like,
and then it's like, as you run, you can magically make up like paths to walk on and buildings to climb up, and like, I don't get it.
What? We're fucked. Let's go into the next clip because we fucked. Let's go into this last one.
On Wednesday, after Francesca Hong lost the candidacy to become Wisconsin's next governor, I made a video saying like, hey, even though we voted for Francesca Hong, it's time to actually rally behind David Crowley because he's going to be the next Democratic nominee and we should vote blue no matter what. And I know it's a difficult ask because David Crowley is not a perfect candidate, especially when it comes to like things like AI data regulation. But I think the more important thing is to rally against Tom Tiffany because Tom Tiffany thinks we're stupid. Tom Tiffany served in Congress. Tom Tiffany has a voting record that we can actually look up. So when he posts things like he's going to be for education, sir, you did not vote on education when you had the chance. When he posts things like, hey, I am not going to be for AI. Sir, you took money from PACs for AI. So what do you think we are? Stupid? You have a voting record. You have financial records that we can trace. We are not stupid. So what I really meant to say when I said it's time to rally for Crowley, what I was trying to say is rally against Tom Tiffany. Even though this recent poll was just released, I do not believe it one bit. I do believe that Tom Tiffany has a real chance at swinging the state back to red. And we must avoid that at all costs.
We need to avoid that at all costs. And then so many people said like, only voted for David Crowley because he was black. I was like, I only voted for David Crowley just on the simple fact that Wisconsin has never had a female governor. We just had a presidential election where pretty much I feel like if there was a male running in that Democratic slot, we would have a Democratic president right now. It's that people didn't vote for her because she was a woman. So as of right now, and the way in the state of the state that Wisconsin is in right now, if she would have won that Democratic nominee to go up against Tom Tiffany, that would have been a key win for him because there is no way the people in this state was going to vote for a woman to become governor. Wisconsin isn't ready for something like that. In the future, yes, but right now, Wisconsin has too many boomers and old people that's make up the majority of the voting in the state of Wisconsin, and they will not vote that woman in as governor. And we already got a hard enough chance for them trying to convince them to vote for a black man to get in to vote. So I'm just saying, we just had to pick somebody who could at least stand a chance against Tiffany when it comes to voting this election. And with all that said, let's head into final thoughts. The church say amen. So we talked about a lot of
amen. Sorry.
We talked about a lot of stuff tonight especially when it came to the overdoses and the celebrity gossip and all the things that's been going on in the country. One thing I'm tired of is people will say we need to just try to get through these moments and put on our brave face and just keep pushing. Like, people are tired of pushing. People are tired of putting on a brave face. People are tired. People are worn out. People are going to work and going to sleep instantly. People are not enjoying life. People, please stop voting against your own interests and think of yourself and your family and your future, and what do you see yourself? You just got to do better, because you vote against your own interests because you don't like trans people, or you don't want trans people playing sports, or you don't want black people to get welfare checks according to y'all. It's all these other kind of things. So yeah, I just feel like y'all need to stop voting against your own interests, and let's make this happen come November. And that's my final thought.
It's kind of difficult for me to have final thoughts lately because it's just so much going on, and it's so hard to summarize it into a few sentences. I mean, as far as this administration is concerned, it gets worse and worse by the day. Crazier and crazier stories pop up. The country and the economy is in a complete disarray. Like I said before, everybody's in survival mode right now. It's like rules and laws are non-existent or not being upheld. People are exhausted, they're tired, they're overwhelmed, to the point like, police officers would used to pull you over, if you didn't go register your vehicle. Now they be flying past you and you're already doing 10 over the speed limit. They flying past you. They ain't even concerned about you, So it's like the world has become very desensitized when it comes to a lot of things. And for some things that's good, but other things I feel like it's not, just the amount of death, especially in our city, children getting shot, things like that. It's people, we wake up every day and somebody's kid has gotten killed and we're just like, oh, well, so I don't know, love on your loved ones, love those who love you, and we're going to try to get through this together. And that's my final thought.
Yay, we made it. We made it through a full live episode. Y'all got a whole extra 10 minutes, y'all. So once again, thank you all for tuning into this episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps us out a lot. And if you have anything that you'd like for us to discuss on the podcast, leave it in the comments below. You can tag us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all those social media pages. And we will see you all on the next episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast.